Hey, girl. Hey. There's some hoes in these singlets. There's some hoes in these singlets. There's some hoes in these singlets. Oh, goodness. Hey, girl. Hey.
It's like the theme song for Pride.
It really is.
Just saying. Just saying.
Dear listeners, I would like to apologize for last week. It was completely my fault, even though it was partially Maim's too.
It's partially my fault.
I'll take the blame this time.
No. You always take the blame. I'll take the blame this time. Dear listeners, my mother, who I haven't seen in 4 years.
4 years.
Right. Came to visit for her birthday, which just happened to be on our recording day. And through a cascade of further events, we just did not have time to do recording. Yeah. So thank you for your patience. We love you all. She appreciates you all.
Yes.
She is basically our number one listener to this show.
And also, with that said, I was in the township.
Lord.
Borough. It's one of those. Bristol, Pennsylvania.
White people land.
White people land. Girl, let me tell you a story speaking of that. So, our new factory is in Sanford, North Carolina.
Sanford,
which has population about between 10 and 20,000.
Okay.
Bristol, Pennsylvania has a population of 10,000 as well.
Oh.
So one of the girls was like, she was African American. She was like, I'm thinking about transferring down to the North Carolina side. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like, I do want to tell you a couple things, though. It is, a town of 10,000 people that's spread out a lot more than what this place is here. And outside that spread out place, it's full of racists.
Full.
And she looked at me, and the other girl in the room started snapping and said, "That's why I tried to tell you, girl. I'm from Fayetteville, and I know."
Yeah, we actually had a wonderful talk today with these people at the restaurant. They were a mixed race couple. It was a heck of a mixed race couple. The wife was Jamaican, the husband was German. And they had these 2 adorable children, and they were actually talking about, oh yeah, we have thought about moving to the Carolinas. And so we had to kind of have a little bit of come to Jesus.
Well, here's the thing. If they're moving to Raleigh, if they're moving to Charlotte.
South Carolina, come to Jesus right now. Yeah.
If they're moving to Charleston, it's okay.
Greenville.
Oh.
Come to Jesus.
No. Although I will say, in my mother's neighborhood, in Mama Mims's neighborhood, there is now a family that has a trans daughter.
What?
It's an adult trans daughter, so it's not as big of a deal as you would think. But my mother was like, "Yeah, it's some progressives moved in. I'm thrilled."
Wow, that's different. I'm proud of them too. Actually,
that's exciting. That's exciting.
It's something. It's a thing.
Oh, yeah. God. And then, girl, let me tell you what else happened in Bristol.
Oh, Lord.
I was walking down the hallway, as I do.
Uh-huh.
And there was this lovely lady. She was a lovely lady.
Okay.
She was wearing pink leggings.
Oh, hey, girl.
That were a little see-through.
Oh, Lord.
And you could see her purple thong.
Oh, no.
Straight through them. It had a nice little lace around. But I was like, I don't, this is not work appropriate. I don't work at this site. I'm going to let go and let God.
Wow. That's a lot of things just now. That's a lot of things you just said.
Her weave was so flat.
Oh, I wish people would put some volume in those things, but like, I mean, I love a good shake and go. I do. I love a good shake and go, but like, come
girl,
on.
This I don't think this thing was shaking. It had so much gel in it. It was just.
Oh, it was one of those.
Yeah, like it was straight. Like it could cut you from the sides. Girl, but How are you doing? You know what? Let's stop talking about this mess. How are you?
It could cut you from the sides.
Girl, well, it was straight. It looked like some of the hair from Doug. Remember that TV show?
Oh wow!
the Roger's hair that was just straight up, and
that
could just had the edge. Yeah.
Wow, that's a moment. What you just said there.
That's a moment. It's a moment. I like.
It is. I don't know what else to say for that one. That's a moment. Like, that's wow. It's like the hair from. You know what? I think that almost any person, if you had to describe their appearance or their hair, I think the last thing in the world they would want is for someone to say they have, like the hair from Doug. Pretty sure that would not be the.
Or you have a face like Hey Arnold. I mean, that's another.
I've seen a few guys with faces that are not that different from the Hey Arnold face. Actually, some people do have very wide faces.
But like a football, like girl,
I mean,
a football.
Not that wide, but
a football.
Kind of wide.
Now, girl, I will say, if you do want to record, now we were talking earlier about whether we're going to record both today or we're going to put one off. If you want to record the other one on like Monday or Tuesday, I can't on Monday. If you'll record the other one on Tuesday or Wednesday, I can do that.
We'll see how we feel at the end.
We'll see how but we have to record. We have to record You Slay Me. Now, look. Dear listeners, you're getting all of our beef right now. It's not really beef.
Yeah, it's our beef. Yeah,
It's our beef.
Hey, Mims.
Yeah, what?
You don't tell me you're not writing my checks.
I mean, we get a little bit of money. Speaking of writing our checks, we have a Patreon, dear listeners. Good job,
you see what I did there?
You finally set something up.
I know. I'm feeling proud of myself, actually.
Dear listeners, we have a Patreon.
I don't often feel a lot of pride for myself.
If you well. I'll tell you about that in a second. Dear listeners, if you go to patreon.com/MimsMaim, you could throw us a couple of bones. Hey, Maim, we also have another podcast.
What?
I mean, barely. It's called You Slay Me. It's a Murder, She Wrote podcast.
It sounds amazing, actually. People should listen to it also.
Let me tell you, So, the Statesville Record and Landmark, Statesville's new paper, which, dear listeners, if you will please like them on Facebook and just start bombarding these conservative assholes with comments, I would love it. Anyway, Statesville has a PFLAG group now.
Aww.
And they had posted something about it and that they were going to, get started and do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And somebody posted... It's also National Dairy Farmer Month, okay? Or National Dairy Month. Has somebody said thank you to the dairy farmers and not just these proud people? Like, well, I'm a proud person, I guess. So that leads me to a question, girl. That leads me to a question. What have you done today to make you feel proud?
I had a really good valve movement. That was nice. It wasn't too gassy. It was, right consistency.
Right.
Didn't require a lot of wiping.
Mm-hmm.
I also
I had a bagel with some lox and capers on it, some cream cheese.
Ooh, that sounds nice. I love capers.
I love capers. Mm-hmm.
I also went outside my house and put myself in harm's way by getting in front of the sun. So I do think that required some bravery on my part, so I will attribute that.
Let me just say, you are of the melanated sort. It is far more risky for me. You can still get the skin cancers. I know.
Still at the risk.
I know. Especially with that blonde ass hair you got right now. You are the fairest of them all.
Yeah, Snow Black here, and Snow Black. Yes, ma'am.
That sounds like one of the dolls from Misfit Toys.
Oh my gosh, it totally does. Like, that would be like one of those Bratz dolls. Right.
God, speaking of things with weird head shapes.
Bill Stillfield? Are we talking about Bill
Oh
Stillfield?
God! How long have we prattled off for? Oh, we still have more time. We still got a few more minutes. We still
More
got a
prattle
few more
time.
with a little more prattle time. Just a little more prattle time, dear
So are
listeners.
you
What?
wait, so up there, do they still do the Pride in September? Or
No.
have you,
So
okay.
they have separated Pride out. Raleigh Pride is at the end of June now. Durham Pride is
Oh.
in September.
Oh, nice. So it's
Yeah,
actually like
so-
appropriate timing finally.
Yes, it's called Out Raleigh. Out Raleigh was just a festival. Like they just had the street blocked off and had like vendors, but now it's called
Okay.
Out Raleigh Pride. So
Oh.
so I'm going to Out Raleigh Pride next weekend.
Cool. Are you going, or is your male personality?
My male
going?
persona's going. I ain't.
I mean, I don't
Girl,
know.
it was 99 degrees here last week with that humidity, and there ain't no wind. And
Wait, it's
probably-
hotter there than here?
Yes, girl. So I am not going to be
Oh.
in any kind of hose, gloves, shoes. I'm barely going to be wearing a shirt and a pair of shorts.
Girl, just put on a harness. You can do it. I believe in you. It's time.
I don't
it's
even-
time, girl. It's
I
time.
don't even own one anymore.
I can make you one. It's time.
Girl, I've been out in a harness before. What are you talking about? Sorry, Mama Maim. I've been out in a harness before. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's some hoes in these harness. There's some hoes in these harness. There's some hoes in these harness.
You know, I never actually went home with anyone. Any of the times I wore the accoutrement, like the harness or the jockstrap,
The joke strap.
I never went home with anybody. But the times I looked shitty, I'd be going home and bing or whatever. I thought there wasn't a bing at that time. It was
Bill
Manhunt
Gates
or
was
Adam
hitting
for
on you?
Adam.
Bill Gates.
It was a little message on there, Bear 411. Hey, oh hi, you want I guess I got anything better to do after I ate this IHOP.
It's like I don't really want to go home yet, but I'm also kind of sure. Let's
Yeah,
just,
let's just do this, or I'll
figure it
ghost
out.
you. One of the two.
We'll figure it out. No, I've never owned a harness actually.
You didn't.
Nope, ever.
They're. Actually,
I think-
so I like what's not latex? What's the plastic stuff called?
Pleather.
Not pleather, like the neoprene. I like the neoprene ones better looking. Don't feel as well when they're being worn. Leather ones actually feel good, but they just don't look good. They're too clunky.
I'm actually gonna start making them to sell them because technically I
You don't have enough to do.
Not right now. I'm just saying, like in the future, because I went to the Eagle, and I was looking at theirs, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, the markup on these is insane."
Yes,
And so,
girl, you could have Auntie Maim branded
Yeah.
harnesses.
yeah, I'm thinking about doing branded harnesses and branded aprons.
So what you should do is you should take your image, like you in with the afro, and put it in shadow to where it's just one color, with like your eyes the white and the teeth the white and like the beard and the afro in whatever color that is. You know, am I making sense?
I mean,
Like a silhouette.
I already have like a little logo for
You do.
sewing projects.
You do. I'm
Yeah.
sure you do.
I do. It's from the same people that did our other logo.
Okay. Which
yeah,
I need
it's
to, dear listeners, we have another logo. I'm getting to that.
We've got a new logo.
We've got a new logo.
That was almost on the. You were
It
you were
was
so close.
almost on something.
You were so close there.
You know what? I can hit.
Sounds.
You ready for it? You ready for it?
Very much.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing. Were you ready for it?
I wasn't prepared for that one. I don't know what I thought you were going to do, but I wasn't prepared
It's
for
the
that one.
first musical song that came to my mind for some
Oh,
reason.
man. That's amazing. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared.
We know what else we're not prepared for.
This episode.
This is season 3, episode 6. Hard hats and lovers.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the light went out in Georgia. The light went out. The light went out. The light went out. The light went out. And that is the night the light went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
Yeah, mama.
God. So we're at Sugarbakers, and Charlene and Bill are flirting on the phone,
Oh,
and Suzanne's just listening over to the side.
That's creepy.
They're saying "I love you," and they're making noises like fish.
Like children.
Speaking of that, my new coworker
Got a fish?
toured with Fish as a groupie in the 90s.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
You need to shut up right now. Just stop. Stop. Everything
Yeah.
you're saying right now.
Yeah.
Just stop.
I mean, I know we had people in our grade that would have loved to have done that.
Remember, we always heard of those people and we thought it was like an urban myth or something like that.
Nope.
Like surely people didn't really follow them around like that.
I think the first show was Bonnaroo and just decided that they were so good that they just followed them.
Are they white?
Girl, do I have to answer that question
I
for
just
you?
wanted to find out just to make sure. Just
How much they have negative melanin? What are you talking about?
not negative melanin. Somebody
They
should
actually
get that
go up
checked
to
out, girl.
They actually go up to black people and make them blacker. That's
Oh wow, that kind of melanin. Just standing beside them makes
just
it
staying
worse.
beside them. They're like, oh. But I mean,
Wow.
they're super cool and a hippie, like, but because of course, Fish. Fish is not the most. Ooh, yeah.
I mean, Fish's music is okay, but like, I mean, if I want to listen to a song that lasts 30 minutes, I'll just put on some white noise and go to sleep.
Well, girl, that's what Fish is.
It is. It's not that different from white. As soon as I said it, I regretted saying it. I was like, oh. So to any Fish fans in the audience right
No.
now,
I actually like
Happy
Fish.
dreams.
I mean, I don't mind Fish. I should say, a nice salmon, some mackerel. I love mackerel, girl. Mackerel's delicious.
oh my gosh, my husband also loves mackerel.
Oh, and also,
have you had?
but no, you keep going, then I'll tell you about Fish. Go on.
Have you had? So there's a thing that he gets here called saba. Have you had that?
Yes, I love
Okay.
Saba.
That's his favorite thing in the world.
There is if you can find it, if you go to a Korean restaurant, it is a spicy mackerel stew. That is, it's daikon radish, or the Korean version of daikon radish, which are a little bigger. That's stewed in water with mackerel and some pepper, and the like hot pepper. The radish becomes sweet, and the mackerel becomes spicy as hell. It is phenomenal.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, like it's
great to
a
me.
little fishy, but it's delicious.
It's a little fishy.
A little fishy.
Little fishy.
But speaking of fish, they also have my favorite flavor of ice cream, fish food from Ben and Jerry's. They have little. It's based on the band. Yeah.
I forgot about fish food. Aw, we stand Ben and Jerry's also.
We stand Ben and Jerry's. If you want to be our sponsor,
We would gladly take it.
we are O for O. So
Yeah. We are over. Ben and Jerry's, if you want to sponsor some old drag queens, we will gladly take your sponsorship money.
So Suzanne's like, was that Bill? And Charlene...
she was extra Southern in this episode, right?
She was.
Okay.
So Charlene and Suzanne are cutting out stars for the country club dance, which is Night of 1,000 Stars. Was that CBS or was that ABC or NBC?
CBS.
So basically, yeah, there we go. Oh, God. And Suzanne notices that Bill, that Bill's only really dated 2 people. I'm like, what are these words that I have written down here? I know I can't read. And that Bill has only really dated 2 people. Mm-hmm. And he may need to sow his wild oats.
Right. Yes.
Now, girl, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Did you ever sow any wild oats?
I sowed a couple of oats. I wouldn't say I sowed a lot of wild oats. You know me. I'm like a debutante. I'm not the best example of the gay lifestyle because I had 3 long-term relationships and a smattering of dating in between.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
my husband had 3 long-term relationships. Not that much dating in between.
How old is your husband?
34.
Okay.
Yeah. The younger generation had a lot less sex than my generation. I was like, oh, I've really dated 2 people, and don't ask me numbers for anything else, please.
No, it's best not. Mom, Maim, you want to turn that off.
Look, there ain't no shame. Big sister Maim, you hear that? There ain't no shame.
Big sister Maim, yeah, because Big sister Maim advocates for it, right? Throw that all around town, honey. Throw that all around town.
Just slap it left, slap it right, slap it all over.
Toss it like some pancakes. Jeez.
Oh my God! But no, so yeah, I was like, well, if you ever want to tell my husband, if you ever want to know how many I've been with, you need to give me a few minutes to think about it because I have to do some calculations
also,
to give you a rough estimate.
Grab me I need a spreadsheet, please.
An abacus, girl. I'm old.
Not an abacus. I wasn't ready.
So Suzanne says he will resent you.
Yes.
Which, if it was a gay man, that may be true. And I'm joking. That's not true. If you're in love...
Well, I mean, that is true for some, dear.
That is true for some. Well, but those assholes shouldn't be getting in with other people anyway. Read your ex-boyfriend. I'm sorry. Oops. I just speak my mind. But I'm not sorry. It's human nature.
I think it's funny. Somebody actually said something recently that I guess I had never thought too much about. What was I watching? I was watching... Oh, have you seen the TV show on HBO Max called Teenage Euthanasia?
No.
Okay. Highly recommend it. It is
you watched that, funny. But you didn't watch Encanto. Go on.
Like I said, highly recommend it. It's very dry humor. But one of the things that they said was they had a particular episode where the main star of it, her uncle, gets summoned to this house with this elderly couple. And the elderly couple's been in, they run a funeral parlor. And so he says that home visits are part of the elderly or are part of their package. And so he gets there and he realizes quickly that the person they've been mourning was not their son, but their lover.
Oh.
And so then the older lady says, yeah, I think when they invented marriage, they didn't know that we'd be living so long. She's like, so even for us, we love each other, but it gets very boring after a while. And I thought, wow, that's actually quite true. I'd never really, when you think about life expectancy and everything, it's like, oh, that's actually I didn't think of it in that context.
And in the English tradition is, it's a contract. It's not a be with them, love them forever. So it was a like money contract.
Yep.
And like, I mean, I don't know. I'm 100% 50-50 on open relationships, you know.
100% 50-50.
I'm sure, it works for some people. It doesn't work for other people. Just do what you do and don't judge others.
Yeah, exactly. If it works, it works. You know,
it works,
I think
it works.
It's just everybody else that has to like put their own little judgment on it. I'm like,
yeah,
it's none of your business. Whatever they do.
Some people just need to get their dick wet.
Speaking of Suzanne Sugarbaker.
Hold on, but I will like to interject here. The problem with men cheating on women is twofold.
Okay.
One, they put them in danger with diseases. You shouldn't do that. Number two, don't form an emotional relationship with them. Just get a hooker. Just spend the money. Help the economy. If you're going to do something wrong, at least help somebody else.
Stop being cheap, guys.
Stop being cheap. Stop being cheap.
Just because a sex worker is more expensive than TGI Fridays doesn't mean you go out on a date at TGI Fridays and leave that poor girl
Why gotta
on.
be TGI Friday? Oh, because they got it's Fridays.
You're so stupid.
Well, I guess in the gay community, it's an escort.
Escort. I thought they were just called dancers.
Well, it's dancer / escort.
Yes.
Either way, you can find them on one of those websites. I don't.
One of those websites.
One of those websites.
Applications.
Oh God! Actually, I've kicked them off of a lot of the applications now.
Oh, really?
Because you can't. You can. I think they've even stopped advertising messieurs on there. Masseuses. Yeah, because that whole sex thing they got rid of Craigslist and all that. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that I got one of those masseuses once when I was? That's like the only masseuse I ever got in my life. I got off of one of those things and now you're gonna be thinking like it wasn't like one of those like super dirty ones, right? But I did pick one of those really, really muscly dudes because I thought that guy was going to literally work me, like literally.
No.
I didn't know. Honey, I am an idiot. I genuinely am an idiot.
You should go.
So I was like, oh, this guy looks like, he's a strong dude and blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, and his thing was very specifically said, like, I'm only a professional. I don't do this for sexual thing, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, cool. Right? Like, I'll pay the, $110 or whatever it was. I was so upset. I was
you need a woman named Helga.
No, I found that out later. Some of my friends told me. They're like, "Oh yeah, you went to the wrong type."
Yeah, you need a small blonde woman.
Yeah.
With a foreign accent who will rip you to shreds.
Yep.
And then punch you one good time. You'll pass out, wake up an hour and a half later, feel great.
Yeah, that's what everybody told me. They're like, "Yeah, you went to you." Yeah, but I just thought like, well, but
So Suzanne talks about her ex-husbands and resenting her, and she always makes sure that all of her husbands have sown their wild oats, except for her third husband, who only had eyes for her, because all the other women fell short.
I know Julia hints to it later, but it needs to be said now, which is, why would you listen to Suzanne?
So Julia, and I have a comment about that when we get to it, though. We'll talk about that. Okay. Enter Julia and Maryjo, and there was a hard hat onslaught.
Woohoo! Yeah, baby.
They're making kissing noises, and Maryjo does a very bad gun joke that we're going to let go real quick.
Yes, because that is not appropriate for now.
So Suzanne's like, well, they never make noise at me. They just applaud as I get out my Mercedes. And Charlene's like, that's not true, Suzanne. Well, Julia is very upset because Mr. No Fat Chicks t-shirt has been giving her a specifically hard time.
Yes.
And Suzanne's like, well, it's the cocky little way she walks. And Maryjo's like, women should be able to walk, wear whatever they want to, and walk down the street however they want to. The end.
I mean, that I will say is a perfect moment in time to preserve for history's sake. right? That one little piece of conversation is so perfect because when you think to yourself just how difficult women have it sometimes, just that moment, right? Because once again, I don't know how it is in the rest of the country, but I know that in the South, women can't even do anything without other women telling them it's their fault.
It's exactly right. It's exactly right. Well, Julia invited the hard hats over for coffee and donuts.
What?
And Suzanne says, basically, have you lost your mind? I'm to Suzanne right here. Like, have you lost your goddamn mind? And Maryjo's like, it will embarrass them. And Julia asks Anthony to talk to them. A black man talking to all these, at the time, white men about being sexist. I'm not a Rhodes Scholar, but I do not think that's a good idea.
I'm not a Rhodes Scholar. Not? What?
No. Oh, ROADS, yes.
Oh,
but
that's what I thought, honey. I think I saw your diploma.
Here, look, I can do this to my shirt and give myself titties. So
honey, I saw your diploma, so I was like, I thought she was a Rhodes Scholar. I saw it in the bathroom.
Oh. You know what the worst thing, speaking about diplomas, is? I did the long way through college. You
did.
As is a way. My mother was so annoyed because if I just started off going to MIT Michelintown, I would have gone for free because they gave it to the top 10% of all the high schools.
Yep.
Like, damn it.
Yep. But you know what? Live and learn. Now you traveling fish.
Traveling fish. I have gone to San Diego where I got some adorable little pottery. Pottery. It's adorable. Isn't that adorable? It's from Mexico.
Not Mexico.
From Javier Seven. I don't suggest going to San Diego.
Ever? We're just...
I mean, for work or something. I mean, I'm sure it's... Let me rephrase. Don't go... Go when you have time to explore, not when you just have time to work, right?
Gotcha.
I shouldn't put it like that because what I was able to do was very basic and touristy, and like I didn't get to feel the town.
Gotcha.
And bump and grind with enough gay men to get monkeypox. Anything?
Oh, you didn't get the monkeypox?
I didn't get the monkeypox. I don't think so. Let me check. Hold on here, girl. Let me look down here. There's just my nipples. I ain't got monkeypox. We good.
If you get a third nipple, tell me some. Call the doctor. Okay.
Now, who should I tell first? You or the doctor?
Me, girl.
Yeah,
me.
Girl, I got my third nipple. I got some monkeypox.
Exactly. I mean, I have to dress appropriately so I can cry on the phone. I can start flailing immediately.
Girl, I did find this. I did find a nice 80s headband right here, so let me put this on. All right, let's keep talking.
Oh, boy. Wasn't ready for that.
That's not fitting correctly. Anyway, girl, dear listeners, I'm sorry we're off the chain, but we're getting back on there because Charlene is at Bill's house. And they're getting intimate.
They are.
They're also getting intimates. Wouldn't that be great?
My gosh,
don't you want some little donuts right now?
Could you imagine if just as they're about to get into it, she's like, "Oh my God, the Intimates is still in the oven." Oh, we have to have our Intimates.
Placement.
We have to have our Intimates before we get Intimates.
Oh God! Or our bonbons. Just I left the bonbons out on the counter. They're going to melt.
Oh my gosh, bonbons are so good.
Yeah, I don't even think they make them anymore.
That's a shame. That really is. That's a shame because those were special.
They were. They really, really were. Well, Charlene suggests that he date other women.
Oh.
Because if you don't have a past, how can you have a future?
Wow, that is a profoundly terrible
That sounds
statement.
like a Republican tagline, doesn't it?
Yes, literally. If you don't have a past, how can we stop your future?
It's true. It's true. Oh, God. Where we at here? So, Charlene's like, I want you to go out with some people. And Bill asks how many, and she immediately says 5.
Which was a very quick turnaround on that one.
Yeah, and he's like, well, does that have any special meaning for you? She's like, no, which is a nice round number. So they start arguing. They make up. And Charlene will not be dating any others during this time.
Oh, so it's just the goose that's going to be having goose feelings.
Yes. So we're back at Sugarbaker's, and Julia says, don't listen to Suzanne.
Please don't.
So the hard hats are late. We learned that as well. They're supposed to come over for donuts. They're, of course, running late.
Because, you know, hard hats, right? Everybody, hard hats.
I've got news.
What?
Suzanne's here.
Hey, Suzanne.
Mimi Hollingsworth is going with Bill to the country club dance.
Whoa, that's very quick turnaround there.
So
Bill.
Suzanne is stirring the pot.
That's all she does this episode.
Stirring my brew. Ooh. God. So I sang that song for my husband. He'd never heard that.
Ever?
I sang, hey, my name is Bill. Wife, 3
Working in
kids.
the button factory.
Never heard that. Haglina Magalina. Never heard that.
What?
How many of these do you think were written by Mrs. Smith of East Iredell Elementary School?
Oh, man, that makes it even more special when you think about it.
Oh.
Right? Think about how unique that would make our childhood. That this very talented woman who never got the break in life that she wanted just decided to entertain children with her own creations.
Yes. Wouldn't that be great? I don't think that's true, but I think that's...
Let me live in my fantasy right now, please. What's your name?
She had 2 eyes in the middle of her head. One was green and the
other one was red.
What's her name?
That's where I learned singing.
What?
I said that's where I literally learned like the joy of singing. You know, when
Not a church.
No, it was in those. It was those particular songs in school were really.
And I'll gladly stand up.
Not that one. Not that one.
She also
have you seen Lee Greenwood lately?
No, girl. No.
Girl, he has done a full Kenny Rogers. That face is pulled back like a bungee cord. Oof. Doing all those Trump events. It is a lot.
Speaking of that, I have a controversial yet brave opinion about this season of All Stars.
Oh.
Money Exchange shouldn't be there.
Ow.
Like, I like her. I like Monet a lot. I like her a lot. She is... There is something... It's just not up to the... Her drag has somehow gone backward a little. And let me just also tell you... For $75, you can have every single one except for one of those dolly wigs. You can buy them all at a discount at Party City right now.
You can't get
in
Raja's,
a bag.
Though. That Raja's one that's like a triple.
Oh, Raja's was 3 cheap ones. I think it was oh Lord, I forgot her name. Not Akira. What is her name? She reminds me.
Jada,
thank you, Jada Essence Hall. Curious Davenport. No, Jada Essence Hall. Look, her wig was money.
I you know, as soon as it started, obviously because we are some Southern gays, I lost all of my brain just exploded a little bit when as soon as RuPaul said Night of $1,000, I was. Yeah. It took me like a good 5 minutes to focus.
I mean, I will say Monet's dress there, beautiful, wonderful, perfect. That wig, she needs to take out back, beat it down to keep it from going on her head anymore, and then burn it.
Just shoot it. Just shoot
Just
it. Put it
shoot
out of its misery.
Put it out of its old yeller, that bitch.
Put it out of its misery. Man, please. It was a little sad. It was a little.
A little.
It was.
Now I will say, it photographed better. Like I saw it on Instagram.
Right.
It looks better on Instagram.
Okay.
But she didn't screen test that shit.
I just, my husband is also not a huge this season Monet fan either. It's actually made me like go back and start to wonder, like, how did she win? Because I can't really remember her now from that season, other than the fact that Ben de la Creme quit. Like, I can't really remember, like,
that was that season,
huh?
Ben de la
That was
Creme
that season.
No, I thought that was the season that
No, Ben de la Creme was the same season as the tie. Ben de la Creme would have won that season, no question.
I thought Ben de la Creme was the one with Trixie.
No, because Trixie won. No. Ben de la Creme won the season that they had the tie. He was the one that they had the tie on.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like something about the season that was making me go back and like remember it. And now I'm like even more so, because I've always been like a Trinity the Tuck fan. And more and more I'm just like, she should have won that alone. Like I cannot remember anything sticking out from that season. Like, I remember Trinity's Caitlyn Jenner and all of those things. I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Just not.
No,
a fan
girl.
this season.
Ben de la Creme was the one that Trixie Mattel won.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Because
even
that was
sadder.
Shangela, Trixie, and Ben.
Who was in the one with
that was season 2, I believe.
Trinity and what's her name? M&A.
Was it season 2 or season 4?
Let me see here. Trinity. Tuck.
And if that was was that a Doors one?
Oh, girl. It was All Stars 4. So All Stars 4.
Uh-huh.
Let me see here. All Stars 4 was All Stars 4. Let's see which girls were in All Stars 4. All Stars 4 was
Dear listeners, we apologize for having gone off on this.
All Stars 4 was with Monique and Valentina. Oh, that was the Valentina return. Also the Latrice Royale return. Pheromone, Gia Gunn, Naomi Smalls, Jasmine Masters. How did Monet Exchange end up winning that? I just don't understand.
Well, she didn't.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Girl, nobody won because it was a tie.
Yeah, that's
like, there you go.
Yeah. Fine. All right. Back to this story. So it's a very short story. That's how we got distracted. Because it's actually very quick after this.
So Suzanne has decided to be her coach.
Oh, that's nice.
Randy is going to be her what?
Randy's gonna be Charlene's date because Randy couldn't get a date.
Because I wrote down Suzanne's date. Now,
and everybody's gonna be going as Hollywood characters.
That's right. Suzanne's gonna be Liz Taylor.
Oh.
Charlene's gonna be Marilyn Monroe.
Who's Randy?
Mickey Rooney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Julia is like, you should never let Suzanne be your coach, because they had a mutual friend who started off as Robert and it's now Roberta. To which I say, trans activist Suzanne Sugarbaker.
Good on you, Suzanne Sugarbaker.
Like,
I know how that joke would have played back then, but now I'm like, good on you, Suzanne Sugarbaker.
But if you look at Suzanne's face that moment, she's just got like a and face there too. Yep. So she was playing it the way it would have been played today, regardless.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Sugarbaker. We appreciate your service.
Oh, God. The hard hats now show up.
Dang it.
And Anthony gives a speech. and the hard hat say a crude poem, thank him for the coffee, donuts, and tits, and walk out the door.
Don't forget the belching. The belching.
Oh, and the belching and the hooting, the hollering, the
panties.
panties.
That's all I hear when I hear like that. It's just like,
construction worker porn was never my thing.
I think what it is about construction, just the industry in general, is that like there is
the porn worker industry or the
no, just like how it translates into that world, right? So like there's obviously like the fantasy element of it, but the problem for me is that when you go by any construction thing, it's just not any, like, absolutely, like, think about like cops and firemen, right? You will sometimes see excessively attractive police officers, excessively attractive firemen, but you go by most constructions, it is not, even down here where men here are exceptionally attractive just in general. If you go by construction sites, I'm not seeing them anywhere.
Oh, God. I mean, there's that whole Diet Coke commercial.
That ruined us all.
Glug, glug, glug.
Yeah, we all thought after that, we're like, oh, that's what men look like at construction sites. It's not. It's really not.
No. Anyway.
That was like the most like depressed, like, no, they're not.
Oh, God. So, Anthony's like, they wouldn't act like that in front of their wives and mothers, and it gives Julia an idea.
Do-do-do-do.
Oh, no, I lost my place.
Now we go to the dance.
Yes. No, it's the next day.
The next day,
and there's not yet. And there's Sugar Baker's having more coffee, and they're offering a free armoire.
Yes.
And they're like, "Hey, put your mother's telephone number down." And the construction workers are in there and like putting down their numbers. And Bill shows up. Bill. And Charlene's like, "I'm going to the gala too." And Bill's like, "Who are these guys?" She's like, "I don't know. Maybe I'm going to date one." And they hoot and holler. And he's like, "Well, who are these guys?" And she's like, "Well, you'll find out."
Ooh. Everything she says, they do that.
So we're at the country club. And Suzanne is Cleopatra. I was not expecting that one, but I should have, right? Like,
I mean, she does everything Elizabeth Taylor inspired. Everything.
It's true. Like, I was.
She looks great.
She looks great. Randy looks adorable as Mickey Rooney.
He does.
Like, so much cuter than Mickey Rooney ever did. Jean Smart as Marilyn, like, beautiful. And it took me a while to figure out who Bill was supposed to be.
James Dean.
I didn't know the coat was red. Like, it didn't click. And Mimi is Katharine Hepburn.
Dude, when I saw that, all I could think of was you. I was literally like, I can't wait to hear what Mims says about it.
Katharine Hepburn. You see, I've only ever seen the younger Katharine Hepburn stuff. I've never seen.
Oh, you've never seen Lion in Winter?
No,
you have to see Lion in Winter because But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing: the fact that a lady who is trying to be sexy picked the second least sexy Katharine Hepburn character other than On Golden Pond just makes me crazy.
So we watched a Katharine Hepburn movie recently. It's her and Cary Grant, their first movie together, I believe it is. The one where she's
Story?
No. The one where she's a young scamp, or she Victor Victoria's it.
Oh,
it's really, really young Katharine Hepburn, and Cary Grant is using his real British accent. It's not that good of a movie.
Well,
but
all the movies back then weren't classics.
I know. Like, we were watching and we're like, this is completely disjointed and kind of bad, but it's Pride Month, so why not?
Oh, see, for Pride Month, we watched a Judy Garland movie for Pride Month. So.
Oh, which one?
What's it called? Girls, the Bowery Girls or something like that. It's the one where she goes to the Wild West. That one.
So you haven't seen everything everywhere all at once yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We heard it was going to be streaming soon, so then we didn't worry about seeing it in the theater.
Girl, see it in the theater. If it's not there, see it in the theater.
Okay.
It is. Unless you have a projector.
We don't.
I know. Do you have a huge ass TV?
Yes.
How big's huge ass? Huge ass. I may have heard you talk about your man once or twice. I'm picturing one of those '90s ones that are like as big of a wall and about as thick as one too.
Yes. No, I think the TV is like 65 inches.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, that's probably big enough to watch on. But I would. There's something about seeing that thing in the movie theater. Like it. Really
I know we
was.
still haven't been to the movies. Like we still have not been to the movies since the pandemic. We haven't physically been to a theater, so that would be a good one to sort of pop our.
Ease on down. The road.
Don't you carry nothing that might be hello. Come on, ease on down the road. He's still not seen that either. We haven't watched The Wiz yet. I'm not made him watch that yet.
I've never watched all of The Wiz.
Oh my gosh. I love that movie so much.
I've seen I've seen enough.
When they get to the Emerald City,
drags for a little bit.
I don't think it drags any differently than the original Wizard of Oz.
Girl, did I say the original didn't drag?
Oh Lord, people are gonna unsubscribe from us from this conversation. We're just bashing stuff left and right.
We are not bashing it. I'm not bashing it. This is not a gay bashing.
You stepped all over Judy Garland's grave.
I love Judy Garland. I love Jinx Monsoon as Judy Garland.
It makes more sense. Now that sounds more appropriate.
Is this my camera? Okay. I just have one thing to say.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God. Speaking of, let me go back to that real quick before we continue. The Vivian didn't use a single one of Patsy Stone's lines correctly. Like, she was Patsy Stone. She didn't use a single one of the... Anyway.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Anyway. So Bill and Mimi are dancing and they're laughing. Randy, she's like, Randy, let's go up there and laugh. He's like, are you sure? It made you uncomfortable because I'm right there at your tits. And she's like, it's fine. And Charlene grabs him and close, and then she just laughs and says, Randy, you're so funny.
I'm guessing me and Randy are probably the same height.
No, he's shorter.
You think
Gene
so?
Smart's like 5'9".
Oh, that's all? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was taller than that.
Nah. So Bill was dancing with a lot of girls. A lot of girls.
So many ladies.
And Mimi suggests they go skinny dipping.
Ooh, Mimi. You want to take off all 9 layers of those clothes? Yes.
So Bill comes over. Now we're at the end of the dance. Bill comes over and asks Charlene to dance. Suzanne's like, no. And Charlene's like, yes. So we find out that Mimi was a friend or no, the sister of somebody at the academy. Mm-hmm. Bill decided to do all of his dates in one evening to get it all done with, and they're in love.
I thought that was actually smart.
Mm-hmm. And Suzanne is sitting on Randy's lap, or Randy sitting on her lap. I'm not sure which, but it is very similar to a picture of Mickey Rooney and Elizabeth Taylor. Mm-hmm. From back in the day, and I'm sure you already knew this, but Mickey Rooney kind of groomed Elizabeth Taylor. Mm-hmm. That he had an affair on his wife with her when she was 14.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really.
Or was it 16? I think it was 14. Hold on here.
Either one is still not great.
Yeah, it was. She was still a minor.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was not 18.
Mickey Rooney.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
every time we say Mickey Rooney, for some reason Rodney Dangerfield comes to my mind. I know. I think it's him as the Asian man in
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Breakfast at Tiffany's, which
yes. That's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Yeah. He apologized for that though, thankfully.
I know,
I don't know if he ever apologized for sleeping with Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
So now we're back at Sugar Baker's. Apparently that same night somehow, even though it's the daytime, like, right. I don't get it, but...
You're like, I don't understand, but it's fine. We'll go with it.
Yep. So Julia has all the hard hats over. And she's like, I want you to promise never to be bad. And Mr. No Fat Chicks is like, honk if you're horny. The wives, the mothers, and the girlfriends all descend down the stairs. Charlene and Suzanne enter. And the old woman's like, well, maybe you shouldn't dress like that. And Anthony's like, well, fellas, how do you think they look? And they all go, mighty fine. Very nice, mighty fine. Yeah.
That old lady, she was such a staple of 80s television also.
Yep.
Loved her.
And that is really the end with Charlene and Anthony standing beside each other, like pointing at the camera. Maim.
Yes.
Did you find yourself a Miss Georgia World?
I mean, I can't not give it to Suzanne Sugarbaker as Cleopatra because that was a lot of look.
So I have a tie.
Okay.
It is first Suzanne at the end of the thing, right, as Cleopatra, and Suzanne at the beginning in that yellow with the black. God,
that was beautiful
Suzanne
too.
Is killing it.
I will say special mention to Julia in that forest green blouse with that hot belt that she's wearing. That's like the second time she's worn that belt. I'm into that belt on her. It looks really good.
Well, girl, did you like this episode?
Oh, sure. This is a
yeah, we're starting to get better, aren't we?
It's silly. Well, it's where the show starts being silly, right? Like they've discovered that they can also do issues but still be silly. And, this one had sexual harassment in it. It had, slut shaming in it. It's all sorts of little things got touched on, but they still maintained the humor.
Well, girl, we have prattled on for the appropriate amount of time. And we are not recording another episode today.
Oh, okay.
So it'll have to be Tuesday or Wednesday. You pick.
We'll say...
Look at your calendar because every time you're like, oh no.
No, let's say Wednesday. Let's say Wednesday.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
Oh man, that was on they did a quiz during our No Fear We're Queer comedy festival thing. It was like Gay Jeopardy, and that was one of the categories, and none of the panelists
cartoons.
No, that particular cartoon. And because I'm old and most of the people in our theater are not, nobody knew who that was. And
Snagglepuss?
And so I said, I yelled out, ask the old gay in the back. And so they asked me, and then I shouted out Snagglepuss, and they were like, nobody had any idea who that was. Because remember, you have to remember
stage left.
I know, but the thing to keep in mind, though, right, is that it's not just about the fact that they're younger than me. It's the fact that a lot of them are like immigrants, right? So some of them don't know that much about like American culture, period, let alone American culture from 40, 45, 50 years ago.
Girl, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Okay, so hello everybody. It's your favorite
Hi.
relation, Auntie Maim.
Still
You
using
can
that
find me. You can find me hosting Amazing Colossal Karaoke, which is a karaoke and cabaret show at Killier Idol in Miami Beach on Thursday nights. You can find me performing with the Villain Theater, this improv comedy theater and stand-up performance space over in Miami. Various times, usually every other Saturday. You can find me at Lit in Fort Lauderdale doing stand-up comedy. And you can find me online at Instagram at auntie.maim, that's M-A-I-M, and on Twitter at the Maim Ministry. So that's where you can find me. How about you, my good, very good, older but not as old as me friend Mims?
I don't know what to... Anyway, hi, I'm the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me at Divine Miss Mims on Twitter. You can find this podcast at Baking Sugar Pod on Twitter. Maim, we have a Patreon. Dear listeners, you can find it at patreon.com. Mims and Maim. Maim,
Yes.
we have another podcast.
What?
You can find it at You Slay Me Pod on Twitter, or just start Googling You Slay Me and see what shows up. And please, probably not a good thing, but you can try it.
Probably not.
It's a Murder, She Wrote podcast. Maim, I also want to tell you that, that's really all I have going on. I am planning to do something else. There'll be more on that next week. Next week. I finally have squared away some time for me to do this for myself. So, but I'll tell you more about it later.
Oh no, I'm excited now. What?
It's nothing major. Anyway, I just like to tell you that I'm like a 90s kid. I've started putting buttons on my bag, girl. So I've got two gay pride buttons. I got a button from Philly when I was in PHL this last time that is, girl, when I bought it, she was like, what button did you get? I was like, the tackiest one. But I bought online, somebody had a commemorative balloon rally button from Statesville. It's got North Carolina with Statesville in it and a balloon on top of it. I was like, going on my bag, so I bought it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I looked through my old buttons and didn't find one of those. I'm sure I had one years ago.
Wow. I kind of want one too, actually.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Good old.
All right, girl. Well, do you have anything else to add?
Remember to spay and neuter your pets.
And your husband. Why don't you say goodnight, Maim?
Good night, Maim. Ooh, Lord.
Bye, y'all.
Stay it.